that kind of thing doesn't happen without deep partnerships with employers. And as we talked about, that's really where Columbus State started, was in that workforce space. And our first mission remains our core mission. And those partnerships with employers really drive a great deal of what we do at the college. And I'd like now for you to hear from a few of our great employer partners.
We know that there's a little bit of a mismatch today in the economy between those looking for jobs and those hiring.
America needs to see that this formula does work. And the partnerships that you've created here to put Central Ohioans back to work can be a prototype for this country.
I think the more work that we can do together, industry and the educational institutions, the more that we'll be able to get that match right. And this is a great opportunity, and that's why we're working closely with Columbus State.
They're very much open to designing courses in conjunction with us that we find enhance their relevance. That's a big change from what we've seen in the past.
You know, our region has been tremendous as it relates to the response from our businesses and working with the college and identifying labor market needs that they have, the career paths that they have to offer individuals, and really working with the college on curriculum, providing us internships, experiential learning for our instructors. We can't do that without their support.
You know, we rely on that institution to provide quality environment and provide a quality education for those students, so that we can continue recruiting those students into our organizations at multiple different levels. Some of the best culinarians we have in our restaurant company to this day all went to Columbus State.
I think if you look around the world at countries where exciting things are happening, it's in many cases you see the educational institutions working very collaboratively in designing curriculum for students that prepares them effectively to participate in the emerging economies.
If a person in a leadership position has an interest or a need to develop educational programs for their associates, I would encourage them just to reach out to the leadership at Columbus State. My experience has been that they're open and they're flexible, and that's a great combination.
We've adopted an industry sector strategy that really allows us to bring the assets of the college to bear on the needs of specific industries. And a lot of that work was launched with our work in the logistics industry. We got before I got here, a $4.6 million grant from the Department of Labor to really focus on the logistics industry in Central Ohio. Initially focused on the Honda supply chain, but then expanding beyond that. And the focus was to take people who were unemployed and put them to work. So we put over 750 people, over 75% of the people that were in this program through a 3-week retraining program that put them to work in gainful employment in these logistics industries. And the great part about that, apart from the impact on the individuals, was the employers were working shoulder to shoulder with us to not only design the curriculum, but deliver it, and to even help do some mock interviews on a routine basis and those kinds of things. So our focus on logistics has been important, but our work in logistics really created a methodology for us to reach out to other industries. We're in that place right now with insurance, as they first came to us with the demographics of a retiring workforce and how they could get a pipeline in place to replace retiring workers. And after, again, these things aren't easy and they take time, but it took over a year to get a customer service track in place, which started this fall. And now we're working on a claims program that will be within our associate's degree framework, but that has been in close collaboration between our faculty and the employers. We provide hundreds of healthcare workers in the community every year, and we're working with our healthcare providers to understand what's next. This is an industry that's under a lot of change. When you consider technology, when you consider increasing competition, when you consider that the whole funding model is changing. First of all, it sounds a lot like higher ed, but it really creates a different workforce that we're partnering with our healthcare providers to make sure that we're aligned and our students are well prepared. We had the opportunity at Taste the Future last month. Some of you were here to celebrate the great chefs of the region who have really created a hospitality market in Columbus that truly is an economic driver. And these are folks who have worked closely from the very beginning of our hospitality and culinary program to build it, to drive it, to make sure that if we're not doing what we need to be doing, they tell us. And that tradition not only continues to this day, but we're really trying to expand it. And I'm proud of the partnership we just launched this summer with the City of Columbus, specifically the fire department and the police department, where academy graduates of both fire and police will get college credit for the work they did at the academy. And then that will put them on a path to earn an associate's degree where the remaining coursework would all be available online and would be available through tuition reimbursement from the departments. So we're really taking down barriers for the earning of degrees for our first responders and some of our great public servants. Civic engagement wasn't something that was immediately at the forefront when I came in. Student success and workforce development, there probably isn't a community college in America that doesn't have those as important priorities. But civic engagement was really something that the college insisted on through its actions. We have individuals, we have programs, students, faculty, staff, who truly are deeply engaged in our community in important ways. And we also saw an opportunity to engage the community in the college in different ways. So I want to show you two quick examples. One of where our faculty and students, through a service learning initiative, are having great impact in a community that needs it. And another is an example of where we have reached out and provided services that are available in the community to students on our campus who need it most.
We do have a responsibility as an institution, and I think it's important for students to learn the importance of giving something back to the community.
We're having students from Columbus State who are regularly volunteering here in a variety of ways, working on making this a better neighborhood. And Don has been coordinating the effort to work on the reducing gun violence.
Project Safe Neighborhood is a community project that is designed to try and reduce, if not eliminate, gun violence and the open-air drug market.
Columbus State has been a tremendous partner.
Ward has pulled together a team to take on the gun violence.
The U.S. Attorney's Office, the ATF, the DEA, the City Attorney.
But along with those legal heavy hitters are academics from Columbus State.
Don Ricker is an instructor of social sciences at Columbus State.
We're going to focus on where guns are coming from, how are they being obtained, who is shooting whom.
It really does give me a chance to communicate with people a lot better as to being opposed, being behind the scenes and just looking at statistics.
Someone from the U.S. Attorney's Office said that our neighborhood is no longer #1 in Franklin County in gun violence. And he attributes that to the work that's happening here thanks to Don and others.
And we're looking, how do we bring the community to the college to bring resources to help our students succeed? How do we give back to the community and have an impact in the community?
We noticed that at Columbus State, we had close to 600 students that were attending Columbus State that were on welfare. And our goal was to work with those students to make sure that there was no barriers or roadblocks for them to continue to get their education. And we needed to work with the professors to ensure that they were actually attending school, and we needed to get that documentation. And so that was the initial partnership to do that, and it's actually working out very well. If there were barriers for those students that were attending Columbus State, we worked with each one of them individually to remove those barriers.